wanted. Let's get this. All right. Okay. Do. All right. Encoding overload. What?
Falling Squirrel and Creative Bites Studios presents The Vale. Press the start button or spacebar to begin.
Wow. Really is.
Main menu. Use arrow keys to cycle through the main menu options. Start new game.
Really
Press spacebar to
emphasizing.
select an option. Game options menu. Select game difficulty. Cache normal. The game is set to normal. Game options menu. Game controls. Game control option. Review keyboard. Controller vibration settings. Press space. Set game and set controller vibration settings. Controller vibration settings. Use arrow keys to cycle. Turn off controller vibration. Controller vibration is off.
I don't think there's a way
Game
to
control
go back.
options. Review keyboard. Set game. Game instruction is set to keyboard. Game options menu. Game sound settings. Change heads left speaker. Right speaker. Sound settings. Change. Use arrow key 100, 80%, 60%, 80%, 100, 80%, 60%. Sound
We'll do
settings.
60.
Use arrow keys. Game options menu.
Okay, Alt
Main
is the
menu.
back button.
Use
Got
arrow
it.
keys to start new game. Please select starting difficulty. Normal. The game is set to normal.
I don't know what to expect.
The king is dead. It was not a hero's death. It was the slow death of an old man. But it gave him time to plot and fuss about his affairs. Enough time, in fact, to spare a rare thought towards his second-born. What to do with me? The blind girl he hid away in the keep. Would I be allowed to stand at my brother's side as he took his place on the throne? No. Even from the grave, my father would not allow me to burden the family. No less than 500 miles of barren heath and twisting vale would keep me from doing that. And now? Here I am, on the approach to my new home on the outskirts of the kingdom. I hear a river. Where are we, Uncle?
We're crossing now. You, Alex, are officially home.
Describe it for me.
I would think the smell of sheep would provide all you need to know.
You could have said something nice. Made something up.
Honesty is the greatest gift a princess could receive.
Then you spoil me, Uncle. Why would it be my father's dying wish to send me to the borderlands?
Your brother is king. Your father wanted you to have something of your own.
That's honesty. Even in death, father wanted his sightless daughter as far away as possible.
I wanted you to have something of your own. From one second-born to another, it's not an easy thing being in someone's shadow.
I like the shadows. You hear more honesty there.
You will make a wise lady, even out here in the borderlands.
I'll make some chieftain's son a disappointing wife.
You'll be just fine. As long as you can tell the difference between the men and the sheep.
Hold up! Hold! Hold!
Is Uncle gonna die?
What is it?
Odetan riders from the northwest.
How many?
An army, my lord.
Can we make the castle?
No, they're on us now. To arms! To arms!
Wait here, Alex.
Uncle? Uncle!
Well, we're moving.
Alex! Alex! Are you okay?
Who's that?
It's your brother, Theo.
Theo, yes. What happened?
We were playing Blind Seeker. He fell down the stairs of the loft.
This always happens to me, doesn't it?
Because you're the only one who can't cheat. Everyone else peeks under the blindfold.
Game options menu. Sound setting. Use arrow keys. Sound settings. Game op.
No. Rolf tricked me. He led me to the edge of the stairs.
Well, the little Ted is hiding by the mill wheel right now. I won't say anything to Father if you were to be careless with your cane as you search there.
Use WASD keys to walk around. Use right and left arrow keys to turn on the spot.
He's right there. Go ahead, swing.
Press arrow keys in the direction you wish to swing.
Ow! Again, Alex.
Alex,
It's Uncle.
this game is over. Rolf will be wanted back in the kitchens.
Yes, my lord.
You may go too, Theo.
Yes, Uncle. Sorry, Alex.
I see you've found a new use for your cane.
What is my punishment?
If anyone should be punished, it's me. There are things I should have taught you years ago.
Like what?
I stand directly in front of you. And I want you to swing your cane at me.
You want me to hit you?
Yes. My punishment. Your first lesson.
Press arrow keys in the direction you wish to swing.
Swing at me. Now. Excellent. Now, when I move, your head will remain facing forward as to conceal your level of awareness from your enemy.
My enemy?
Listen. Now swing at me again. Very good. Now, I'm moving to stand directly in front of you again. I want you to swing as many times as you can, as fast as you can. Faster. That's good. Know your limit. You want to be selective with your strikes.
You will be limited to only a few consecutive strikes before you must pause to catch your breath.
An
Okay.
exhausted fighter is a dead fighter. And what do you think is the first rule of combat?
This is cool.
Don't die?
Precisely.
Hello? Uncle? The carriage. It must have overturned. It's night. How long have I been out? I need water. I'll have to get to the river.
This is fucking cool.
Uncle? Hello? Don't be stupid, Alex. Who's to say you'll find a friendly answer? Ah, wolves. That's reassuring.
Angry doggos. Oh.
Whoa. Oh. A body. Soldier. Fur-lined tunic, He's not one of ours. Perhaps Uncle made it out okay. Let's see here. Yes. A sword. Rusted. Broken. Better than nothing. And a scabbard. You'll have to do for now.
You have gained a Tier 1 sword. The tab key will bring up the character menu, where you can review equipment, coin, and travel options. Character menu. Equipment. Use broken sword. Traveling broken sword. Character menu.
Yes. I don't think I've ever been so thirsty. Who's there? Uncle? Okay.
Wolf.
Not Uncle.
It's a wolf.
You like sticks? Go get it. I've got a heavy one here now. Fair warning, you're getting this one in the muzzle.
Was that in front of me? Oh. Bad doggy. Bad wolf. Bad.
Well,
I got him.
I won't be sleeping tonight.
Yay.
What do I do, Uncle? What would Theo do? I suppose a king wouldn't find himself alone 500 miles from his home. 500 miles. I suppose I start walking. All roads lead east, they say. Unless you're walking in the exact wrong direction. Talking to yourself like a madwoman. Who's there? Friend or foe?
Depends. Are you with the Odedan horde?
No. I have no money.
I'm not out to rob you.
You're limping. You're injured.
You're blind, but perceptive.
Friend or foe?
You're highborn. You're not from the borderlands.
And you?
A shepherd
Where's your flock?
in the bellies of barbarians.
We are not foes, then.
It would appear not.
I hear men approaching. Are they the King's Guard?
Afraid not, girl. This is where we part ways. Good luck.
Wait!
Well, what do we have here?
Looks like a shiny prize to me.
Don't suppose she's the one the General's looking for.
Okay. Stay calm. Think, Alex.
You wanted to see me, Uncle?
You are going to learn how to use a sword today.
My father wants me to learn how to use a sword.
In truth, no, he does not. However, a princess and future protector of the realm need first be able to protect herself.
Wouldn't that be my brother's job? Protector of the realm?
Firstborns get killed every day, girl. You're going to learn this. Here, take this sword. Grip it. Firmly.
Firmly
You know, I don't
grasp
care
it.
that you're blind. And our enemies will not care about that either when they set out to kill you. Now, I want you to swing your sword at me. Don't worry, the blade is not sharp.
Press arrow keys in the direction you wish to swing.
Excellent. As you can hear, your attacks are easy for me to parry as long as I'm not trying to do something else.
Something else? Like what?
Like hitting you.
That hurt!
Now, if you don't want that to happen again, you're going to have to hit me first. And if you're quick enough, I won't be able to parry. Are you ready?
I suppose?
Listen for sounds that lead into my swing. My armor, the shift of my weight, and swing the second you hear it.
Okay.
Very good. One more time. Excellent. Now, shall we play a little game?
No?
Strike me 3 times and you win.
All right.
Oh,
Mouse
and
and
I'm going
keyboard.
to move around this time.
Or well, just keyboard.
Very good.
Is that in front?
Excellent.
That was in front. Left.
Very good. That's 3 for you, niece. Well done. I know you think you don't need to learn this, but our enemies are unyielding and they show no mercy. Not for the young, nor the old, nor the blind. I want you to be strong. Even stronger than your brother, because no one knows what the future might hold for you.
All right, Uncle.
What's wrong with you, girl? What are you staring at?
Stay back, or I'll start swinging.
Where's the other half of your sword?
What are you waiting for?
I think she's blind.
Then that should make it easy for you, no? Oh, she got you good. Hell, I'll do it myself. You think you're better than us?
This is hard. I can do left and right, but it's front and back.
Girl,
Is that the shepherd?
yes. Take my hand before more arrive.
Where are you taking me?
Safety. I have a camp nearby.
Got an achievement. Got one achievement. Hell yeah.
Sorry, girl, for running off. What's a lame shepherd going to do against practiced killers?
I suppose I should thank you for coming back.
I suppose you're welcome.
I need to get back to the capital. To my brother.
The capital. What are you doing out here? Merchant family?
My family is very wealthy. There would be a reward if I was escorted back safely.
Escort a blind girl 500 miles down a treacherous valley in the wake of an invading horde. Not sure what reward would be worth that.
What would you do with me then?
Teach you to tend sheep? Get your pretty hands dirty.
You could buy 1,000 sheep with the reward my family could provide.
1,000? Huh. Must be some family you have. Or you don't know the price of sheep.
Eh,
Do you have a name?
Alex.
Alex. I am Abd al-Rashid. Call me Shepherd if you like.
Okay. Shepherd.
Getting you home, Alex, will depend on where the Odedin are headed, how well I can heal up, and who we can find to help us on the way.
My uncle and I were traveling with a guard when we were attacked. They may still be around.
If that horde set upon them, they would have been killed.
I'm still here.
Then you were not worth the trouble. Get some rest. It will be safer to travel later at night. I suppose you're indifferent to the dark.
Thank you, Shepherd.
Don't thank me yet, sheep. The valley home is long and winding. It conceals more than just barbarians.
Alex, pay attention.
Yes, Uncle.
Now, as a blind fighter, you will be well served to have a shield. Now take it here with your left hand,
It's heavy.
as it should be. Now, this time, when I swing at you, I want you to raise your shield.
Press and hold A, W, or D keys to raise your shield in the direction of your target.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Raise your shield. Excellent. Now, right after you block my attack, you will have a split second to counterattack. It's a more defensive way to fight. Give it a try. Block my attack and immediately counterattack.
Press A, W, or D keys to hold your shield in the direction of your target. After blocking your opponent, press the right, left, or up arrow key to counterattack.
Very good. Another
Howdy.
game then. Defeat me any way you want. Attack as I swing or block and counterattack. On guard, girl. Once again. Well done, niece.
Alex, wake up.
What is it?
Odedin. They've set up camp on the ridge above us. We have to get moving. Follow me. This way. Over here. It's a raiding party. They supply the horde as it moves. I'm afraid this won't be the last one we run into.
What do you see?
About 10 warriors, in small groups around the clearing. No room to get around. There's no central fire. They probably don't like each other much.
I'll need a shield.
What are you going to do with that?
Use it if I have to.
For now, I'll try to draw them away. You stay here.
Wait!
I'll come back for you.
My uncle promised me the same thing.
I am a cunning shepherd. I won't get caught. Son of a dog.
What was that?
What do we have here?
No! What?
Fortune shines upon us.
It's the royal brat.
We have our orders. Kill her and bring her to the general.
No!
Alex, are you listening?
What?
You were off somewhere. I said, I'll draw them away. You wait here.
No. It's not going to work.
How would you know that?
I just do. It's too dark. We'll move together. I'll lead.
All right. We'll need to get to the river. Look what I found.
What is this?
The shield you requested.
Is this a barrel lid?
It suits you. Now keep moving.
You have gained a Tier 1 shield.
Woo!
Look what I found.
Get fucked, motherfuckers. Ah!
Are you there, Shepard?
Yes. I think we're clear of the camp. Damn it. A patrol.
Hey, you there? Who are you?
Stay calm, Alex.
Your
Let
mom.
me talk.
Look at me.
My sister and I were just returning home from treating lepers outside Bolt Keep.
Lepers, you say? Bring the torch.
Bring the torch! Sorry, Alex. We'll have to run.
Or fight?
It's the missing princess.
I'll tell the others.
And share the glory? I don't think so. Give up, girl.
You really know how to use a barrel lid.
I'm
I have
amazing.
my uncle to thank for that.
We have to keep moving downriver. I need to find a settlement. Somewhere to heal up.
Lead the way, Shepard. Do you know this village?
It's called Braga. But that's all I know. I've never been this far east.
Describe it for me.
Well, it looks like a village. Too small and out of the way for the horde to bother with. There's a smith, some cellars, an inn.
Your leg. You going to be all right?
Not without clean dressings and herbals.
I don't have any money.
You'll have to sell something. Your clothes, maybe.
My clothes?
Your fancy cloak must be worth something, and you'll draw less attention without it. Have a look around. I'll be at home here with the animals.
Ah! Here's a young woman who knows a thing or two about finer things. I know a merchant from the capital when I see one.
I can give you an excellent price on the furs. Well, fine pelts this warm west of Riverton.
Actually, I'm looking to sell. My cloak.
Times is hard for me, too. Not sure what I could afford.
100 copper?
Oh! I mistook you for a fellow merchant. I see now that you're a highway robber. Why don't you just take my entire cart while you're at it? I could also throw in what's left of my teeth, if you like.
What do you want then?
10 copper. Final offer.
Now who's the thief?
Whoa, 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 no, no. Now that I see the cloak from the back, it's very nice. 15 copper. Truly, my final offer.
20.
Done. That's 15 and 20 copper as agreed. Nice doing business with you. Fight Silks! Warm furs!
Character
Do I actually
menu.
have...
You have 20 copper. Character menu.
Okay.
Resumed.
We only covered north to south. Fight Silks!
Fresh bread, 2 loaves for a copper. Can I help you?
I'm looking for healing supplies.
Just horseshoes or a blade if you're expecting trouble.
No trouble yet.
Well, I would ask at the mill next door. The miller's wife is a healer. She sells bread out front.
I'll be going now. Thank you.
Always welcome.
Oh, what a nice blacksmith.
Fresh bread, 2 loaves for a copper.
Not this way.
Fresh bread, 2 loaves for a copper.
You looking for something, child?
I'm looking for healing supplies. Dressings for a wound, and something for infection.
Are you hurt?
No, it's for my friend.
Can you bring him in? I can have a look.
I'll just take the supplies.
It will be 10 copper for the bandages and poultice.
Here you are.
Thank you, child. And this is everything you'll need.
Another way, then. Okay.
Essentials, tonics, bombs, and ointments. Can I help you?
Just taking in your lovely village. I'll be going now.
Dang
Thank
it, I
you.
want to buy.
Always welcome.
Over here, sheep. This way, Alex.
I have the supplies.
Thank you.
Do you need help with the dressing?
I know what I'm doing. Not my first blade wound. I've spent more time in pastures fending off bandits than wolves. I suppose you're not used to sleeping with livestock.
Thankfully, no. They're warm, at least.
I'll need a couple days before I can travel. But it will give us time to collect a few things. We'll need a bow for hunting, and money. Don't suppose you know a trade?
I'd like to find a better weapon. Perhaps some armor.
A sheep in wolf's clothing. I suppose it will make bandits on the road think twice. Get some sleep, Alex.
Okay.
All right. We should head for the inn and ask about work. Won't get anywhere without going. Just follow the music.
Essentials, tonics, bombs, and ointments. Fresh bread, 2 loaves for a copper.
Here we are, the Wandering Goat. I'll assume it's an inn and not a stable. Shall we enter?
Press spacebar to enter.
It's pretty empty in here. But I guess it won't hurt to ask around.
Use down and up arrow keys to cycle through interactions of interest. Press Alt key to leave. Character menu. Travel map.
We are here in Braga. Rivertown is 4 days' journey from here. We need that hunting bow if we hope to survive on the road.
Character menu. Use a traffic. Resume.
Victuals, tonics, bombs, and ointments.
Here's the inn. Should we enter?
Press. Use down and up arrow keys to cycle through interactions of interest. Press Alt key to leave.
Can I bring you some wine? Tea? Bread and cheese?
Anything would do us both good.
I might pass on the cheese. Just saw a huge...
Oh, damn rats!
It's over there, beneath the table.
Where?
By your feet, Alex.
Hold on. Got it!
Oh, blessings on you. A cup of wine on me. Oh, if only you could do that a few dozen more times, I might be rid of them.
Perhaps we could do just that. Do you pay in copper or just wine?
If you're serious, I'd be happy to pay. A rat bit my child last night. Been coming up from the cellar since the last storm. How's 20 coppers?
You want to go rat hunting?
Press spacebar to take up this quest.
It reminds me of a game I used to play as a child.
You played a game with rats in a cellar?
Show us to the cellar, Innkeep. I'll teach you how to play, Shepherd.
There's a shovel by the door. Might suit you better for the job.
I've got it.
Here, take the lamp too.
No, it's better in the dark. The light will just send the rats into hiding. Rats in the cellar. Catch them in the dark. Be done afore the morning lark.
Alex, it's black as pitch down here. I don't think I'll be of much use.
Nonsense. We'll play as a team. All you do is move around quietly and listen, and when you find a rat, you hit it.
That's not a game, Alex. That is hunting rats in the dark.
Ah, but it was a game, and one that I was particularly good at. Our cook would open up the cellar for us when we were playing in the kitchens. Shh. I think I hear one. Follow me. It's right here in front of us.
I think I missed.
Here, hand me the shovel. I'll show you how it's done. Rats in the cellar, hear them squeak. 3 dirty rats to get your sweet. I've got one here. I keep perfectly still and swing in the direction of the rat. Gotcha. So, if you collected 3 rats, Cook would give you a sweet. The other rule was if you accidentally hit another child, you would have to give them one of your rats.
So your cook would send spoiled children into a dark cellar to catch rats and keep them out of the kitchen?
I didn't think of it that way. It was still one of my favorite games. I nearly always won. This way. Here's one. This is just as fun as when I was a kid. Rats in the cellar, quiet as a mouse. Catch the rats or burn your house.
Catchy too.
Another way then.
I hear you.
Nope. Stay right where you are. Another one down.
You are very
Home
good
run.
at this.
I think we nearly have them all. Oh, over there. One more.
Don't know why I'm leaning forward to try and listen better, because I have headphones.
Not this way. Hold it right there. Cook would be proud. I think that's it. Well played, if I do say so myself. Let's go fetch our reward from Cook. I mean, the innkeeper. Your cellar is rat-free, good woman.
Oh, blessings. Blessings on you. Here's the 20 copper as promised. Oh, your cloak is soaked. Hang it by the fire and I'll get you some tea.
I'm fine. It will dry soon enough.
Anytime you folks want a drink, it's on the house.
You have gained 20 copper in coin and salvage.
We have a little coin, so let's see about getting that bow. We should head for the smith.
Use down and up arrow keys to cycle through interactions of interest. Press Alt key to leave.
Fresh bread, 2 loaves for a copper. Fresh bread, 2 loaves for a copper.
Can I help you?
We need a bow.
And perhaps a little steel for the road east.
You know that the Horde is on the march.
Well aware. Thank you.
I haven't done much in weapons since the local garrison left years back, but I have a couple of salvage pieces laying around.
Use up and down arrow keys to cycle through.
I have this old hunting bow for 15.
Use arrow key item quality. Crit recoin value. This item will cost.
Good luck with that. And if you're headed east, you will need it.
Use up and down. Use arrow keys to cycle item stats. Item quality. Tier critical chance bonus. In coin value. 30 copper. Your current item is 0 endurance. Item quality. Tier. Use.
I'll be going now. Thank you.
Always welcome.
What happened to our copper? We
have our bow.
We should have more than
We can
that.
move on now. Unless you want to find better equipment for the journey.
When you are ready to travel, press the Tab key to bring up the character menu and select the travel map.
2 loaves for a copper. Fresh bread, 2 loaves.
Character menu. Use arrow key. Travel.
We are here in Braga. Rivertown is 4 days' journey from here.
Press spacebar to begin travel. Press.
What is it?
Just changing my dressings.
How's your leg?
Better. It's my hand I'm worried about.
Your hand?
My fighting hand.
What did they do to you? It's why you wear the cloak.
Let us just say I had more fingers before the Odedan arrived.
My uncle would go on about the savagery of the Odedan. I never knew how much to believe.
The Odedan are not savages. They are nomads. Traders. I've traded with them.
Why would they be attacking shepherds?
I was simply in their path. Warriors are savage when they need to be. You may need to be savage one day too.
I'm not supposed to be outside of the keep. What if we get caught?
Father's not even in the city.
What about Uncle?
He has you swinging a sword. Why not shooting a bow?
I suppose. What am I shooting?
There are pigs that come around here looking for scraps in the evening.
I don't want to kill anything.
The arrows are blunted. I doubt they would go through parchment. There's one now. Just at the tree line. Do you hear it?
Yes.
Let's move in slowly to set up the shot.
Use the WASD and arrow keys to move in on your target. Hold down Alt key to move more slowly and quietly.
There, perfect. He's frozen. He knows we're here. Any closer and he'll run off.
Center your target by tapping right and left arrow keys. Push and hold spacebar to draw your bow and release to fire.
Well done. You hit it.
I did.
Ooh, there's a nice fat one. Do you hear it? It's peeing on that tree. It's close enough. You can shoot from here. You just missed. Aim a bit to the left. Aim a bit to the left. Try again. Aim a bit to the right.
Ah! Hey! Who did that?
Rolf?
Honest mistake, Rolf. She mistook you for a pig.
I can spit in your food, you know.
That wasn't nice.
But it was worth it.
What if he tries something to get back at me?
He won't. You know Uncle and I will always protect you.
Even when you're busy being king?
Especially when I'm busy being king. Alex,
What now?
I hear an animal.
Wolves?
No. I think it's a boar. Our provisions will only last so long. This could mean food for weeks.
What do you need me to do?
Stop snoring.
I snore?
Shh. It's right there. I have a clear shot. My hand. It's too weak.
Here, give me the bow.
What?
I used to hunt with my brother.
You're a hunter now too?
Not really, but I can shoot a bow. I'll try to get closer.
I think I recall an old adage about never hunting with a blind woman.
Shh.
It sees us. Just missed. Just a little to the right. Just missed. A bit to the left. You hit it. Shield ready, Alex. You did it. I'll be damned. Suppose you don't know how to butcher it.
I'll leave that to you. I've got the pretty hands.
All right. Killed a boar.
What do I get to be hit with today, Uncle?
Oh, you sound almost happy to be here.
Just glad to be out of my room.
Well, I'm sure I can put an end to that. Draw your sword. Marvelous. Now, I want to teach you something that will allow you to take the fight to the enemy. A heavy, overhead swing has the possibility to break through the enemy's guard. You will no longer be limited to waiting for the enemy to attack first. I want you to give it a try. Raise your weapon over your head.
To execute a heavy attack, hold the down arrow until wind-up is complete. Then push in the direction you wish to swing.
Excellent. Now, try again as I move. Very good. Now, when you break my guard, you should be able to press your advantage right away.
When an enemy's guard is broken, you will have a window in which you can freely strike.
Break my guard and continue to attack. Excellent. Now, in the field you won't always be able to break an enemy's guard. Continued attacks will expose yourself to my counterattack.
If a heavy attack is parried, you should raise shield in preparation for counterattack.
Listen carefully to whether or not you break my guard. Be prepared for my counterattack. prepared for my counterattack.
Press the wrong button.
Again. Listen for the guard break. Ah! Again. Again. Very good. Now, these attacks take time and energy and can be turned away by shields. You won't always be able to use them.
Heavy attacks are most effective when fighting in single combat or against hesitant enemies without shields. In addition, impact weapons such as hammers, axes, and maces are favored to swords when using heavy attacks.
The important thing to remember is that the warrior with the most options will more often win the day.
Are there gonna be multiple weapons I can use? Oh man.
So you've met many Odedan.
A few, yes.
What are they like when they're not trying to kill you?
They come from tribes across the northern plain. Some are farmers and herders, some are nomads hunting or raiding, or trading with the great cities in the far west. Some have olive skin, some are darker. Some are pale as milk.
What they look like means very little to me.
Ah, yes. Though it means a great deal to some people. That's why their warriors brand their skin. And they dust themselves with chalk before battle. It makes them feel like one. An avalanche of white crashing down on their enemies.
Huh. I wonder...
Alex, wait. I see tracks ahead. Where the path narrows.
What's happening?
Odedan.
I'll give you that.
Fucking finally, he's dead.
You don't even know to use that thing, do you?
Sounds like he has chainmail. Did I win?
Well done, Alex. But we stick to the woods from now on.
You have gained 30 copper in coin and salvage.
Woo! I could buy a better sword.
These flies are murderous.
Not what you are used to back in Glades.
We have flies, but everything out here bites. Wolves. Are they close?
Yes, I see them. A pack. Larger than I've ever seen. They're closing in. We
Big
need
wolves.
to fight them back before they overwhelm us. I've never seen wolves that aggressive.
We may have been better off on the road.
We should find the village before nightfall.
So, what is the life of a shepherd like in the Borderlands?
Quiet. Sometimes peaceful. Sometimes dangerous with spring floods or raiders sweeping through the Vale. It's mostly lonely.
Do sheep make poor companions, then?
That's the subject of too many jokes in the Borderlands.
I smell smoke.
There's the village beyond the tree line.
What's happening?
I think there's a fire. Follow me. Looks like raiders came through. Stables and manor houses are ablaze.
You, in the hood! Don't stand there gawking. Grab a bucket and run it down to the river. What's wrong with you? Grab a bucket!
Can we help them?
Wait here, Alex. I'll see what I can do.
Where are you? Hello? There's someone trapped in the stable.
The smoke is too thick. I can't see.
I'm coming for you.
Over here.
Where are you?
I'm right here.
Come with me. Take my hand.
Thank you.
Alex, what are you doing? Over here. This way. Over here. This way. I leave you for what? 2 minutes and you run into a burning building.
She saved my life.
Yes, I
Who
did.
did this to your village?
Oh, dead end. Only a handful, but they took the chief's daughter hostage. We were helpless as they looted our stores.
They said they'd release her on the road as long as we didn't follow. We're sending a small party out to get her.
We'll come with you. Safety in numbers, right?
I don't think it wise, Alex. They will have killed the girl by now.
Are you coming?
We're better off on our own. If you want my help, you have to trust me.
You'd best go on without us. We'd only slow you down. So you think they'll kill the hostage?
Most likely. Those villagers have little to offer them in ransom.
And you would still defend their savagery?
It's not a matter of defending it. I understand its purpose. One brutal statement sends a clear message. Discourages the resistance, which only leads to more bloodshed.
Why are they doing this? Invading the Borderlands?
That is a good question. The Odedan have little interest in claiming land. That's something for you Easterners. Perhaps the Odedan want to remind Glades that the Borderlands don't belong to anyone.
You have no love for the kingdom.
Do I love castles and garrisons and taxes? No.
What about burning villages and killing hostages?
There are many things I'm sure you'll find unpleasant outside the fancy carriages and castles.
Shh. I hear voices. By the river.
I'm telling you, it's been 10 miles. You're not following us. I think it's safe to kill her.
We're not going to free her.
How long do you think she will last up there? We'll be doing her a favor.
She's still alive.
Hold on. There are at least 5 warriors. We're not charging in there.
I'll use my bow. Take out a few before they see us.
That is a terrible idea, Alex.
You're going to let them kill that girl?
No, I'm going to keep you from killing yourself. This way, Alex. Leave them. This way, Alex. Where are you going?
Where are they? This way! I found them! Stronger than you.
You're smart.
The laughter.
Shepard?
I'm here, Alex.
You stayed.
I'll free the girl. Wait here.
Thank you.
Your disregard for your own life is wearing off on me.
I like that. I like that option of choice there, where we could have kept moving or helped the girl. I like the way they handled that. That was cool.
I can't thank you enough for saving my daughter. Please, take this gold band. It was my wife's. I used to think it was my most important keepsake of her. I know now it means very little compared to the daughter you've returned to me.
We can't accept this.
My heart.
Nonsense. Don't hesitate to sell it for what you might need on your journey east.
Thank you, then. It will surely help.
I'd send you on with an escort, but we need to rebuild, and I couldn't spare the men and women.
We travel light and quiet. We'll be just fine.
And be wary on your way in and out of Rivertown. I hear bandits and pirates have laid siege to the place.
We will.
We done good. We done
You have
good.
gained 100 copper in coin and salvage.
Let's go. For rich.
Guard up, Theo. You need to protect your head.
If you were quick enough to hit me, I might consider it.
Ah, Alex, please join us. Theo is in need of a good smack in the face.
I'd like to see her try.
Yeah. Take your sword.
Are you sure about this, Uncle?
I'll go easy on you, sister.
You'll do no such thing, Theo. You must first defeat your enemy before granting quarter. And here is your shield.
Do I get a shield too? It's only fair.
Would you also like a blindfold?
Uncle, You know he won't let me win.
I'm counting on it. You need to teach him a lesson. Theo is quick, but predictable. He'll come at you with a flurry of swings. Block them all before you counterattack.
You must wait until combo attacks end before safely counterattacking.
All right? Go to it!
Damn it, you're quick.
For those striking threes.
You need to vary your attacks, Theo. Alternate between the heavy overhead swing and the quick slashes. All right, Alex. You should be able to hear his heavy attack a mile away. You can counter that right after you block it.
You will be able to hear the difference between a heavy single swing and quick combo swings. Recognizing the difference will allow you to time your counterattacks.
Okay. I hear the difference. Messed that one up.
Enough, Alex.
Sorry, brother.
Next time, she fights without the shield.
Next time, you'll keep your guard up when I tell you to.
I shouldn't have upset him.
He needs to learn humility. Every good king does. It's one of the traits I fear he lacks.
I suppose I was born with humility.
You, Alex, were born with a great many gifts. Don't you ever forget that.
What if he tries some enemy back against my father?
Stay close, Alex. We are at the gorge. I can see Rivertown in the distance.
Describe it for me.
It's a steep climb down to the ferry dock, but the river will be our best hope of getting ahead of the horde.
No, describe the view.
The view? I suppose it's nice.
Go on.
The sun is setting. Beyond the town. The sky is red.
I can't picture colors.
The sky is like fire. It warms the clouds piled up like wool on the horizon.
Yes.
However, the light on the river has turned it into a writhing serpent, burning its way through the forest. That is our path.
Thank you, Shepherd. You're quite the poet.
In a past life, perhaps. You look worried, Sheep.
I don't like boats.
Not to worry then. This is more of a makeshift raft.
Nearly drowned as a child. Slipped into the castle reservoir. My brother was there to pull me out. Theo was always there when I needed him.
Well, do your best not to fall in. I can't swim.
Ferryman, how much farther to Rivertown?
My name's Kadir. Do you always go around calling people by their occupation?
Will we be on the water much longer, Kadir?
Not long now. Ah, hell, what's this now? They know I don't ferry anything valuable. No offense.
Pirates?
2 boats. If you have steel on hand, I'd flash it now. They'll dump you in the river as soon as rob you.
You don't sound that worried.
Killing the ferryman is bad for business. Hey! Watch it with the arrows!
Shepherd, get behind my shield.
hear the coin on you.
Another boat.
Hand over the coin.
Get fucked.
Is that the last of them?
Yes.
Those lot were amateurs. The pirates downstream won't be so easy. Here we are, River Town.
We don't plan on staying long. How will we find you when we are ready to leave?
I ring the bell when I'm heading out. I gather you intend to travel east.
That is the plan, yes.
I don't take travelers past the Oxbow.
How far is that?
About 5 miles.
How much do you want? To take us all the way to the King's Road?
How much? We are not haggling here. I don't go past the Oxbow.
Any thoughts on how we get back to the kingdom?
Become a pirate? Good luck.
Let's have a look around. See if we can find the way east.
Hello, princess.
What do you mean by princess?
I call all little girls princess.
I'm hardly a little girl.
Insults will not get you, Copper.
You think I'm here for copper? Old Maggie is just here to help. So I'm going to give you 3 simple rules for getting by in Riverton. Rule 1, stay out of the swamp. Rule 2, keep 2 hands on the tiller. Rule 3, everything makes its way downstream one way or another.
Words to live by, I'm sure. Let's go, Alex.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
If you're looking for veils, I only have some materials for fishhooks until the iron comes in.
How long will that be?
Your guess is as good as mine. I fear my supplier met his bandits on the road.
What would you pay us if we were to uncover the fate of the supplier?
Very little if the iron is gone. You can have your choice of wares if you can recover the shipment. What do you say?
Press spacebar to tip. We're in.
Beautiful. I'll be here waiting, making smaller and smaller fishhooks.
There's not much of a road here. Wait, Alex. I see
I
something.
don't know why
What
I'm
is it?
tired.
Blood. A few days old. Keep a hand on your steel. Cart tracks head off the road here. Whoever was bleeding was dragged off in the other direction. This is not a good situation, Alex. We should cut our losses and head back.
We came all this way.
Fine. Which way do you want to go?
Use down and up arrow keys to cycle options.
Follow the blood.
Press spacebar.
It's a morbid thought, but a body will have more to tell us, won't it?
All right. Stay close.
How far have we been walking?
Too far. This is a long way to drag a body. And there's something else.
What?
I've yet to see a footprint. Or an animal track. Just drag marks and blood.
Hold on. I hear something. Just ahead. Follow me.
I see them.
What is it?
Wolves feeding on a horse.
Wolves dragged a horse?
Not possible. Something else must have dragged it here. The wolves came later. We need to go now, Alex.
I have to agree.
They're coming for us. Ready your weapon. What's gotten into them? We need to get out of these woods.
We'll take a quick look for the cart on the way out?
Fine.
I smell a fire.
There's a clearing ahead. Looks like bandits. 4 of them. I can see the cart. And the body of the merchant.
They murdered him.
We should let the blacksmith come and get it himself.
There's something out there.
They know we're here. We could walk out there. Try to talk with them.
Or I start loosing arrows.
Your call. I follow your lead.
Eat up. Might be the last
Let's
time
talk
we
to
get
him.
for a while.
Can you see what that is?
Is it the militia?
Or whatever slaughtered that horse?
The Iron Merchant. Why did you murder him?
He was dead when we found him, honestly. There's not a scratch on him. Look.
Shepherd,
He looks untouched.
why did you take the wagon?
We wanted to sell it, but we were afraid that the dead merchant would bring you here.
Bring us here?
The local militia.
Wait a minute. You're not the militia. It's just the two of you out here.
The others have followed the blood trail. They'll be back shortly.
I don't believe you. You're not going to hand over your coin?
Nope.
Truce! I call a truce! Why are you out here?
We were sent by the smith. We're taking the iron cart.
How are we going to do that without a horse?
Good point.
Look, we don't want to stay out here. You saw the blood on the road. Whatever attacked the wagon, drag the horse into the woods, and kill the driver without touching him. We'll bring the iron into town with you, if you tell the militia we didn't kill the merchant.
All right. You have a deal.
What's going on here?
Ah, my shipment. Who are your friends?
Woodsman. At the camp, near where we found the cart.
No need to say more. Bird travels fast around here. Sorry you had to see the nasty business.
Did you know the driver?
I didn't, actually. He was sent by the smelter. It just bothers me when someone comes into misfortune while in my service. Thinking at it now, I should have ordered earlier. Or risked it downriver. Anyhow. The forge is fired up. Tell you what, it takes this bit of silver. If you come back here, it will buy you any of the weapons I make.
Thank you. We'll stop by before leaving.
You have gained 50 copper in coin and salvage.
Where now?
Fish, fresh from the river this morning. Hey, you with the bow.
Me?
Don't suppose you like fish?
I don't mind it.
Well, I hate fish. Have all my life.
And you sell it?
Born into fishmongering, you can't choose your parents, can you?
No, you can't.
It puts food on the table, mostly fish, of course. But we used to get regular shipments of venison and salt pork before the pirates took to the river. I could pay decent if you were to put that bow to work.
What do you consider decent?
5 copper for rabbit, 15 for boar or deer. You won't find a fairer price in town. I'm also the only butcher.
You must be desperate, Alex. That's a very good price.
Press spacebar to take up this quest.
We'll do it. I'll let you know what the wood has to offer.
Good hunting.
Wait, I see something. It's a rabbit. Ah, she's gone. There's another one. Close. Aim a bit to the right. Ah, it's run off. Wait, there's another one over there.
Over where? You can't just say over there and then not tell me to your right or left.
Ah, just missed. Just a little to the left. Great shot. Well done. We should bag one more before leaving. That was our shot. There's another one. We're good here. You hit it. It's down. I think that's all for today.
Got it. Dang.
Very nice. I can make the wife some nice gloves to boot. 5 copper each, as I promised.
You have gained 10 copper.
Where to, Alex?
Kobe's, green gills, stonehead. Fish, fresh from the river this morning.
We're at the inn. It is busy. A lot of people passing through Rivertown.
Press spacebar.
If you want to move anything on the water, you'll have to get in with the pirates.
Will they accept coin for passage?
They're not about to accept coin that they already take freely. You need to plead your case with the washerwoman.
The washerwoman?
Her entire family is in with the pirates. She sends them signals down the river with the way she hangs the clothes. You'll find her down at the docks. Sunrise to sunset.
Thank you.
We should talk to a few more people before heading to the docks.
Use down and up arrow.
Miss,
What is it, child?
I'm traveling with my father and brother. They've gone missing.
Missing? Here in town?
No, my brother and I were playing by the mire. Hugo got lost and my father went in to look for him. They haven't come out and no one here will help me.
Alex, we don't have time for this.
Press spacebar.
Yes, we do.
Can you show us where your father entered the mire?
Yes, thank you, thank you. This is where we last saw Hugo.
Honestly, Alex.
Game options menu. Use arrow keys to cycle through menu options.
Wait a goddamn minute. This is a French woman? And she just said she lost Hugo. Now, I played a game where the protagonist was a French woman, and her little brother was Hugo. Is this a reference to Plague Tale? Is this a fucking reference to Plague Tale? Ah? I think it might be.
Looks like a place where murderers dump their victims.
Shh. Let's just go in a ways.
Hugo! Father?
Wait up. What's your name again?
Robin.
Stay with us, Robin.
Hello?
Robin?
Father? Father!
I see them. They're in that tree ahead.
Why are they in a tree?
This way, Alex. Over here.
Yeah.
This way.
Robin! Don't come any closer!
We're here to help you. Are you hurt?
There's something in the water!
Robin! Stay next to me. And don't move.
They're coming!
Who are coming? Describe it.
I don't know if I can. Ready your weapon, Alex. Where is it?
What am I killing?
I'm all right. Is it still there?
I think so.
Enough of this. Ah!
I think you killed it.
About time.
Robin! Hugo!
Oh, Robin. We need to leave this place now.
Yes, please.
owe you everything, yet I have little to repay you with. Pirates made off with the tea we were selling.
You owe us nothing. I'm just glad to be of service.
Yes, you have the art of one who serves.
You wouldn't happen to be heading east on the river?
No. We will be taking the road west. But I will make sure that stories of your bravery travel with us.
Goodbye, Alex. And thank you, Shepard.
You must take some pleasure in that, Shepard.
I suppose I do. Where to, Alex?
Nope.
Welcome back. If you're willing to return my silver, I can fashion you a weapon worth twice that.
What can you make me?
I specialize in heavier arms.
Use up and down arrow keys to cycle through items of interest. Press Alt key to leave.
Ooh.
I could make a battle axe. This a pick spike to punch through mail.
Press spacebar to consider purchase.
That'd be.
My blades are on the heavier side, but can still be wielded as a shield.
Press spacebar to consider purchase.
If you're looking for protection, I could work some blade pieces for you. Nothing fancy.
Press spacebar to consider purchase.
The axe?
Press space. Use arrow keys to cycle item
Tier
stats.
3.
Press spacebar to buy item. Alt key to consider other items.
Okay.
Use
the heavy.
Use arrow keys to cycle item stats. Press spacebar
Slow.
to buy.
I want slow.
Use up.
The axe.
Use arrow keys to cycle item stats. This item will cost 50 copper after salvage of old item. Your
Excellent. I'll get straight to work. Here you are. Give it a good swing.
Feels right. Good weight.
It is a fine-looking piece.
May it serve you well.
Thank you.
Use up and down arrow keys to
The blade piece.
use arrow keys to cycle item stats. Press spacebar to buy item. Alt key to consider other items.
We have no cop. What happened to our cop?
Use
I'll be going now.
character menu. Try coin and you have 155 copper. Character menu. Use arrow keys.
Thank you.
We're at the inn.
Press space. Use down.
You two would do nicely. We're looking for travelers unknown to the locals. With Odetta on the road east, bandits have turned to the river. Merchants downstream will pay us big to end their pirating.
What would you need of us?
Hardly nothing. We load you up, send you down. When the pirates show up, we'll do the rest.
Sounds dangerous.
We've 10 ex-soldiers from Braga Garrison. Pirates won't touch you.
What would you pay us?
100 copper.
Each.
Sure. Each.
Press spacebar to take up this quest.
All right. We'll do it.
200 copper. And we may be able to get the ferry east if they can break the blockade.
Sick.
Do you see anything?
Nothing yet.
Can you see our escort?
They're set back in the woods now. I can only hope they're still watching us.
Perhaps we'll drift all the way home?
Wait. I see movement on the left bank. Pirates.
Where is our escort?
I see our escort now on the right. They've put in upstream. What are they doing? 10 men on one raft.
Watch the rocks! Watch the rocks!
Fools! They've capsized. We're on our own.
Looks like the locals thought
Ah, they have bows. Ready your shield.
Archers, loose.
Here they come.
Strayed a little far from home.
Incoming.
You're lost, girl?
More pirates.
Oh. It sounded like I was getting attacked by two directions.
I see movement on the left bank.
What the fuck?
Pirates.
Where is our escort?
I see our escort now on the right. They've put in upstream. What are they doing? 10 men on one raft.
Watch the rocks! Watch the rocks!
Fools. They've capsized. We're on our own.
Looks like the locals thought they would have a bit of fun with us.
Ah, they have bows. Ready your shield.
Archers, loose.
Here they come.
Where are you off to?
Another boat. Incoming.
I'm one with the force and the force is with me.
You're not going to hand over your coin?
More pirates.
I hope you can swim.
Fucking shit.
Wait. I see movement on the
Ah,
left
it's
bank.
one of these games.
Pirates.
Where is our escort?
I see our escort now on the right. They've put in upstream. What are they doing? 10 men on one raft.
Watch the rocks! Watch the rocks!
Fools.
I suck.
They've capsized.
So bad at this.
We're on our own.
Looks like the locals
I gotta
thought
be
they would have a bit
patient.
of fun with us.
I'm not patient.
Ah, they have bows. Ready your shield.
I'm always ready.
Archers, loose.
Here they come.
Bring him on.
Strayed a little far from home.
Another boat. Incoming.
Your lost girl?
I hope you can swim.
You won't find me as forgiving. Put down the weapon.
No.
You still with me, Shepard?
Yes. I'll take us to shore.
Well, that didn't go as planned.
You think?
Worked out in the end, didn't it? Blockade is done with.
Our payment?
When we collect from the merchants.
You'll be giving us our payment now. Or you'll be floating downstream with those pirates.
No need for threats. I only have 100. But it's yours if you're not willing to wait.
We'll take it now.
Suit yourself.
You have gained 100 copper in coin and salvage.
Maybe we should take the crude plate mail.
It sounds like the ferryman's heading out. We should see if he'll take us east, now that the pirates are thinned out a little.
You're proud of yourselves, eh? Taking on the river rats?
You're not happy the river's clear.
You don't think other would-be pirates will take their place?
Over time, sure. Until then, will you take us?
I don't take travelers past the oxbow. Period.
Now what?
I guess we go see the washerwoman.
What do you want? I'm full up today if you're looking for laundering.
We were told that you could help us get past the pirate blockade.
Well, you were told wrong. I wash, I dry, I charge 2 copper a basket.
Can we help you then? Hang these up?
Put that down. You'll get it all wrong.
There is a militia in town. A rough bunch in need of washing. We could bring them down.
Easy, Shepard. We were told you work for the pirates, and I need to get down the river to see my family. I have little to offer, or steal for that matter, but I have little choice but to rely on the kindness of strangers, like yourself.
What makes you think I have kindness to spare?
Surely anyone can understand what it is to be in need.
Perhaps you would do me a kindness in exchange.
Perhaps. What do you need?
My daughters and eldest son joined the pirates after my husband left with the garrison. My youngest boy, Alphonse, is still with me. But his sisters will come for him. And he too would be lost to the river.
What can we do?
Take him south, to my brother. He is a good man, a tradesman. He can offer him more than I can here. Would you do this?
Press spacebar to take up.
We'll help you.
Hell
For
yeah.
safe passage on the river.
We'll help
Yes.
the washerwoman.
Safe passage for safe passage. You have my word.
Alphonse, is it? Do you know your uncle well?
Never met him.
Your mother says he's a good man.
My mother also said I could join my sisters after the winter. What's wrong with your eyes?
What's wrong with your manners?
It's okay, Shepard. I'm blind.
How do you get around like that?
With practice and patience. With the help of a stick. With the help of my friend here. with the help of a weapon if need be. We all need help sometimes. You don't think your uncle could help you? Help you find an honest life?
I want my own life. My mother sends me off with a blind woman and a cripple.
We'll get you to your uncle safely.
Not if I can help it. Good luck finding me.
Alphonse, wait!
Why can't anything be easy?
We'll get him back. Let's go. I can hear him, just ahead.
Careful, Alex. You're going to kill yourself. I'm going to kill myself. Wolves. A pack. Careful, Alex.
How the fuck? I don't understand the fighting the wolves thing, because it sounds like I'm getting hurt when I swing at them.
Wolves. A pack. Careful, Alex. Are you okay, boy?
Don't touch me. I just want to be with my family, with my sisters. Can't you see that?
I can. I wanted to be with my brother and I was forced to leave him. I'm stuck out here. Hundreds of miles from home because of a choice that was made for me.
What do you want to do, Alex?
Use down and up arrow keys to cycle options.
Take him to his uncle. To his sisters. To his uncle. To his sisters.
What did he want? Did he want his sisters or his uncle?
Press spacebar to select.
I can't remember.
Use arrow keys to consider another option.
To his uncle. To his sisters.
I can't force you. I won't force you. Choice is yours.
My sisters can help you get down the river to your family.
Thank you.
It's Alphonse! Let me get a look at you. What happened?
Wolves. I fought them off. We fought them off. Alex here is blind, but she can fight.
She looks it. Are you here to become pirates?
Regretfully, no. We're looking to take the river east.
It's not safe for us to travel that far. The merchants down east are raising militias. If you give this coin to a ferryman in Rivertown, he will take you there. Anyone with this coin has our blessing.
Thank you.
Our little brother is where he belongs.
Your mother. She worries about you out here.
Mothers worry. It's all they can do once their babies fledge.
But you'll be careful, won't you?
We'll run this river. We have nothing to fear. And take this for your trouble. It looks better than the bow you're carrying.
You have gained a military bow. Your old bow is worth 15 copper and will be added to your coin total.
Nice. I like that how they're not making me worry about having
Sounds like
to
the
sell
ferryman's heading
things.
out. We can go see what this special coin will buy us.
Hello again.
We'd like you to take us to the King's Road. We have payment.
I told you. I don't... Wait. Where did you get that?
We were told it did not matter.
Right you are. Climb aboard when you're ready.
We should think about setting out.
When you are ready to travel, press the Tab key to bring up the character menu and select the travel map. Character menu.
We are here in Rivertown. The mountain pass is a 5-day journey from where the ferry meets the King's Road.
Press spacebar to begin travel. Game options menu.
This is it. The King's Road is just up the bank. I have to warn you, the gentle parts of the Vale are behind you now. The mountain pass, heading into winter, isn't for the faint of heart.
We'll keep that in mind.
If you did, you wouldn't take another step. So long.
Looks like the road is clear. Here, take my hand, I'll help you up the bank.
Hello, Princess.
Oh! You startled me.
You're the blind woman from the market.
I prefer to be called Maggie. And you're the travellers who've been making all the fuss. Taking on pirates, reuniting families, running iron.
How did you make it out here?
I walked.
That's not possible.
Sure it is. You put one foot in front of the other and repeat.
I mean, you're blind. And there was no land route to get here.
There are plenty of routes if you know what you're doing. Where are you headed?
Why would that be business of yours?
You might need my help. There's safety in numbers, you know.
You might be safer, but we'll be slower.
Don't flatter yourselves. There's no substitute for life experience.
We're headed east.
I have a place along the King's Road. You can spend a night there. Break up the trip a little.
What kind of place?
It's your standard hovel, but better than the lice-infested inns along the way.
I don't trust her.
No dead end will be snooping around, I can promise you that.
We'll be fine on our own. Thank you. Let's get moving.
What's the harm in escorting her back to her hovel?
We can't have her slowing us down. We need to get ahead of the horde.
I can hear her following us.
Then we happen to be sharing the road. Until wolves take her.
Unkind.
Regardless, we are not waiting for her.
I've always loved travel at night. It's cooler,
it's still there.
quieter, less busy. When you're in a city and walking, there's nowhere you can't go on foot. Wagons need roads, boats need rivers. Did you know that section of river you were on meanders for 20 miles? I walked less than 10.
She can move for an old crow.
Damn right I can move. Been moving most of my life. You sit still and you shrivel up. You keep moving and you find things, discover things.
Discover.
Some things you can't explain, so you move on to discover other things that explain those things.
I've covered more ground in the past few days than I have in all my years living in...
Stop. Both of you. Don't you dare take another step.
What is it?
The woods. Do you smell it?
Pine
No.
trees.
Not the pine trees, you daft gloit.
I smell ash. A fire.
Brimstone. Look to the woods.
Something is moving. Something dark.
Wolves.
Not like I've ever seen.
God damn it.
Now.
Take my hand.
Yes, lead the way. I'll fend them off.
Here come more. No! A rock face. We're trapped.
Get behind me.
What is she doing?
You wouldn't believe it if I told you.
Magic?
Alex, your weapon. It's on fire.
I know you can use the damn thing. Start swinging, girl.
Are they gone?
Yes. For now.
How far is your shelter?
Not far. We'll be safe there. Follow me. I'll start the fire.
What was that?
Nether wolves. Spawned by the Fae, no doubt.
No, what you did. In the woods back there.
You've never seen a blind woman throw fire around before?
No one sees that.
Or there's much-sighted folk don't see. You know it, Princess. You see it, don't you? Glimpses of the future. Tell your friend.
I do. I see misfortune before it happens.
And flashes from the past.
When needed, yes.
You are a seer, like me, like a rare few throughout the world. It's a power we draw from the Fae realm. The same power that brings the fire and all manner of magic.
So I could do what you do, with fire?
Perhaps. But not like me, Princess.
Why must you keep calling me Princess?
It's your title. By birth. You don't think much of old Maggie if you don't think I could see who you are. Even your friend here was able to figure that out, eh? His silence tells you all you need to know. The point is, it hardly matters. We are all in grave danger. These wolves, the Horde, none of this is by chance. You two are going to help me get to the bottom of it all.
We're headed home to Glades, to my brother.
You may not have a lot to say about where you're going. You're not likely to get through the pass without our help.
There are more of you?
I have a husband who takes up residence in the mountain village of Crow. It's near the pass. You'll shelter us while we figure out how to get you home.
Thank you, Maggie. You were right. There is safety in numbers.
You two should try to get some rest. I'll keep watch tonight.
Up you get, Your Eminence.
Please, don't call me that. Is it morning already?
It is noon. We should head out.
We have 3 days' journey to Crow. I have rations, but we may have to hunt along the way.
We'll get started then.
Hold on.
Character menu.
There are
Look
things
at
to
the map.
consider. The road ahead is notorious for bandits and other ne'er-do-wells. Maybe better to wait for nightfall.
I would rather run into bandits than more of those creatures. What does our princess think?
Use down and up arrow keys to cycle options.
We'll set out now then, with the daylight. We'll wait for nightfall. Set out now.
We'll head out now. Bandits will be a welcome change after last night.
Yeah, I'd rather fight bandits. Bandits feel like way easier than the wolves.
So what do these nether wolves want?
To kill. To feed. They're minions of unsavory characters from the Fae realm. Shades and the like.
Shades?
Your mother never told you that shades would drag you away into the night if you didn't go to bed.
My mother died when I was young. The only thing my brother and I feared was our father. Oh, and according to my uncle, the endless list of enemies that were coming to murder our family, which I suppose now is mostly true.
Shades are just as real. They rarely stray from the Fae realm, but they can possess creatures from our world, like wolves, and set them about doing their work.
Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, I have to assume.
We don't want trouble, lads.
You won't be any trouble at all.
Put those away, boys. The old woman is not to be trifled with.
This old bat?
Trust me, you'll be playing with fire.
Was that supposed to mean something?
This is the part where you bring the fire, witch.
The powers of the Fae are not at your beck and call.
But it would be helpful, no?
Draw your weapon, Alex.
You're not going to hand over your coin?
Again!
give us what we want.
Got him.
Why wouldn't you use your magic?
The princess's steel was impressive enough. We can't have stories about sorcerers following us into the mountains.
You have gained 60 copper in coin and salvage.
Nice.
She snores worse than you.
Rude.
Down, you blatant wazzock.
You don't think seers can accidentally cast spells in their sleep, do you?
Shepherd, what is your real name again?
Abd al-Rashid.
Abdal Rashid.
Not bad. Though I don't mind being called Shepherd. Reminds me of my purpose.
How long have you known who I was?
From the first. There was word about the missing princess.
And you didn't let on?
You clearly were not looking to tell me. What would be the point?
So I didn't have to keep up the act.
What act? Would you have been ordering me around as a servant?
No.
How are princesses different from shepherds?
More is expected of us.
Like what?
My brother was expected to rule glades from birth, and he does. He was tutored and trained, so was I. Frankly, I wasn't sure what was expected of me until my father sent me to the borderlands. To lord over a castle there.
What would make you a good lord?
I'm sure I wouldn't have made much of one.
You could do worse, you Easterners. What if a king had a stupid or weak or cruel child? You all suffer. In the borderlands, we always follow the strongest and most cunning, no matter where they come from.
What about the Odedin?
It's the same.
Well, my brother is not stupid. Or weak. We will not have suffered for him becoming king. It's only a matter of a few minutes that the kingdom could have had a blind ruler.
You are a twin.
I am. So perhaps fate isn't so bad at choosing leaders after all. Theo is a natural leader. People listen to him.
They would not do the same for you?
Why would anyone listen to a blind woman?
Because you listen to them.
Aw. It's a wholesome message.
Are you listening, Alex?
Yes.
No.
Sorry, Uncle. Just wondering why you're not drawing your sword.
I have something else in mind today, Alex. The sword is an elegant weapon made for self-defense on the road. Easy to carry and easy to dismiss as ornamental. Your shield, however, makes it a weapon of war. There are other weapons you will only find on the battlefield. Brutal weapons made to pierce armor and crush bone. This, Alex, is a war hammer.
A war hammer?
Actually, it's a wooden maul, a safer substitute for training against a true war hammer. It's not much heavier than your sword, but it serves a much different purpose. When wielded by a strong enough opponent, blows from these weapons can injure, even through your shield. Blocking heavy attacks from these weapons is still better than taking the full force of the blow. However, blocking will wear you down, and it is best to interrupt the swing with your own well-timed attack. Are you ready?
I doubt it. But let's give it a go.
On guard. Excellent. Very good.
How can I tell?
Finally, I'm going to come at you with alternating heavy attacks and quick combos. Start with your shield raised, while you listen for which attack is coming.
Listen for the type of attack. Interrupt the heavy attacks and block and counter the quick combos.
Excellent. Interrupt my attack. Very good. Oh, excellent. Very good. I pray you have no cause to face these weapons in battle, but a soldier must be prepared.
Soldier? I thought I was a princess.
A princess should not ask a subject to be something she's not willing to be herself.
I understand.
Strange.
Our enemies are unyielding.
Character menu.
The valley is much wider here in the mountains. It feels good to be in open country again.
We're exposed out here.
So are our enemies.
You sound more like my uncle than a shepherd.
Men are no different from wolves and jackals. It's the ones I cannot see that I fear most. There is a ridge on our right. A good spot for an ambush. However, once we are past it, I can relax for another mile at least. In the woods, I have no peace. Hold up.
Jackals. On the ridge.
Fighters in mail with battle axes.
I hear them. Clansmen. We may be fine as long as we're not in Mara territory. Clan borders change yearly.
How will we know if we are in Mara territory?
We're in Mara territory.
Yeah.
Ready your shield, Alex. They may throw their first axe as they charge.
Oops. This game.
Hold up.
Jackals. On the ridge.
Oh, they couldn't have started me at the
They're not friendly,
start
shepherd.
of combat.
Ready your shield, Alex. They may throw their first axe as they charge.
You a wee thing.
God damn it.
Ready your shield, Alex. They may throw their first axe as they charge.
this one.
You scared, lass?
You can hardly tell the difference. At first, you could really tell the difference between the fast and the
Ready
slow.
your shield, Alex.
This one
They
I
may
can't.
throw the first axe as they charge.
Can't even tell which direction the axe is going.
Ready your shield,
Oh,
Alex.
fucking
They
course
may
from the
throw the
beginning.
first axe as they charge.
I'll keep my eyes closed.
You've made a mistake, lass.
Fuck off. I should have bought the crude male armor.
Ready your shield, Alex. They may throw the first axe as they charge.
No, it's on.
Quick, this one.
From the fucking top.
Ready your shield, Alex. They may throw the first axe as they charge.
You've made a mistake, lass.
Ready your shield, Alex. They may throw the first axe as they charge.
They may do the food date if they charge. The fucking axe is stupid as fuck.
You a wee thing.
Quick, this one.
Ready your shield, Alex.
Yeah,
They may
yeah,
throw
shield,
the first
Alex.
axe as they charge.
You scared, lass.
fucking course. Oh, you go. The fucking heavy attack is fucking stupid when you have to hit.
Ready your shield, Alex.
This
They
shit's
may
stupid.
throw their first axe as they charge.
And I can't interrupt this attack, the swing, the yelling charge. Apparently I'm not blocking, alright.
You a wee thing.
You've made a mistake, lass.
Why does it still hit me?
Those were scouts.
Fucking
Some
fine.
Araclan are on the move.
The Odedan are driving them out?
Or they are emboldened, looking to move on other clans in the chaos. Sorry to say, Shepherd, you won't find much peace out here.
You have gained 80 copper in coin and salvage.
Matt, you're sounding like you've played this game before.
Akram, open up!
Has it been long since you've seen your husband?
Not long,
Oh.
just a few years. We know you're in there. No sense hiding.
And he's an older gentleman. About your age?
Oh, he's seen his share of winters, yes. I'd know if he's dead, if that's what you're getting at.
If only I was so lucky.
Akram, get down here. We have guests.
You lost the key again? Typical. Coming down.
No, it wasn't
Pleasure.
locating the
Pleasure.
sound.
Come,
It
sit.
was
I'll put something on. I can't promise you it will taste any good. Lost my sense of
My
taste
countering.
years ago. Drinking something this old witch made for me. How long are you staying this time?
As long as our guests need.
Just the night. We'll be heading for the pass in the morning.
You won't be heading for the pass before spring. The snows have set in. Hope you like turnips.
I can
That's all I got.
I can do front,
think she
left,
would have
and
brought
right
some
just
food
fine.
with her after being away
That
for-
wasn't the
for
issue.
what, 2 years?
You can always come with me, you know.
I have the library to maintain. You really want to start up this argument again?
Well, I'm not your errand girl. Akram considers himself a seer as well. He's more interested in the past. The history of the craft, he calls it.
So, they're in on the game. They know about the Fae?
If you were any kind of seer, you'd know this before we walked in the door.
What brought them around to believing you?
Get it, Matt. Get it.
Netherwolves.
Voice acting's
How
pretty
many?
good.
10 or more. Must have been a pack that was exposed to a rift.
They're up to something. The Fae. Stories have been around town in the past few weeks. Do you think they're surfacing in aid of the Horde?
Picking sides? You know that's not their way. I'm still working out their plan.
Well, after you're watered up, you should head into the village. Ask around.
We just need to get back to the capital as soon as possible.
Is there any way to get through the pass now?
We can get you through once the weather breaks. But you may not have a home to go back to if we don't heed the warnings that are presenting themselves. You need to help us first. I'm going to visit the farmsteads to inquire about the movement of the Horde. You two should ask around town about any unusual happenings in the area. Folk up here always have stories. I'll travel with you if you come across anything particularly hair-raising.
What about your husband?
Akram will be at the library in the monastery. If you're looking for a place to nap, you should stop by for a visit.
Character menu.
We are here at the village of Crow. The
Oh,
Glades border is a 2-day journey once we
I
make
missed
the
an
pass.
achievement. I was supposed to buy things
We'll
at
have to
Braga.
wait for the weather to clear.
What do you think?
I think it's a distraction we can't afford. Perhaps we can find a guide to take us through the pass.
You don't believe the realm is in danger?
There is danger everywhere. I plan to stay out of it.
What is the town like?
Looks like there is a proper smith here. The monastery is on the other side of the square.
I can hear the bells.
And it looks like there is some sort of celebration going on next to it.
Sounds like that's where most of the village is.
What you looking for, lass?
Arms and armor.
You have nasty business with the clans, do you?
Just a precaution. We're heading east.
Well, you won't find a better smith this side of the pass. And good local steel from the mines.
Use up and down arrow keys
Ooh.
to cycle through items of... Use arrow keys to
Tier
cycle
4.
item
Let's see.
stats.
Crit chance.
Press
Okay.
spacebar to buy item. Alt
I
key
never do
to
heavy
consider
attack, so I don't
other
really gotta worry
items.
about that bonus. We'll buy it.
This item will cost...
There you go, lass.
Use up and... Use arrow keys to cycle item stats. Press spacebar to buy item. Alt key to
Yeah,
this
we'll buy.
item.
We need armor.
There you go, lass.
Use arrow keys to cycle item stats. Press spacebar to buy item. Alt key to consider
Oh!
other items.
My block speed will increase with this.
This item.
There you go, lass.
Use up and
We're
down.
decked
arrow.
out now.
I'll be going now. Thank you.
Anytime, lass.
Character trap equip. Use arrow keys to cycle equipment. Alt character menu.
Looks like some monks are serving ale. They've certainly drawn a crowd.
You'd scarcely know there was an invading army around.
Join us. Our fellow brothers and sisters from Bon Arthur are here with their ale. Come, drink.
Press spacebar to enter.
The crowd is full of monks.
Let's talk to the sober ones first.
Use down and up arrow key.
I'll tell you about some strange business. We have a hunter staying with us at the monastery. She fled her camp in the southwood, spouting some nonsense about creatures arriving in the night, savaging the others. We were a little concerned if there was any killing going on. She may have been part of it.
Has anyone been sent to inspect the camp?
Who would go? We have our brothers and sisters from Bon
Blindfolded.
Arthur
I don't
to
have a.
treat, and the villagers are preparing for the snows.
You're not concerned about what happened at the camp?
We're a sanctuary, and we maintain that by staying out of trouble.
See?
They
I'm not the only one who thinks
trouble.
like this.
I can tell you where the camp is if you want to have a look.
Press spacebar to take up this quest. Alt key to pass.
Here we go, Matt. Let's get this right. Shit. I've always been bad at tying that. As you can see, I can't. I cannot. I can't read chat. I'm scared. I actually. Well.
We should find Maggie. She'll want to know about the camp.
All right, let's go find her.
I can already smell it. Something from the nether. You say the monks thought the hunter was mad? Funny how ignorant learned people can be.
Could they have chosen a darker site to make camp?
I believe the darker side chose them. Whatever you're seeing is not natural.
I hear something.
On the other side of the camp?
Yes. What is it?
A small rift. A connection to the Feywild.
What?
I haven't come across one in decades. We should go to it. It may have answers. You lead the way, Alex.
What's that terrible sound?
Nether wolves. Feeding.
What?
Feeding on what?
Hunters.
Wonderful.
We have options. The wolves will take their time consuming flesh, bone and all, and once they've had a meal, they're not likely to let go. If we're careful, we may be able to move past them. Or we could try to take them with the bow, or directly with sword.
Weapon ready, Alex.
Fuck. I'm one with the force is with me. I'm one with the force is with me. Yo, our sword is fucking badass now. I am one with the force is with me. I am one with the force is with me.
It sees us.
What sees us?
I'm at the rift. It's calling to me.
To me as well, child. I say we take the smallest of glimpses. Hold my hand. Now reach out.
I'm reaching.
We are Odedan. What need do we have for these mountain tribes?
The Fae say they are
Satan?
essential to our success. The pass cannot be crossed without their aid.
Why cross the pass at all? What will that give us?
Glades.
Chat.
And the realm.
What was that?
A connection to another time and place. Not too far away and only moments ago.
Who were they?
I believe
Fine,
it was the
Ryan, I
Odedan
love it.
General and his council. They are consorting with the Fae, emboldened by prophecy or promise somehow.
The Horde intends to take Glades.
Perhaps.
The Odedan are here for plunder. They will always return home in the end.
I fear this general has much higher ambitions than his predecessors. The real question is why the Fae would want him to push so far east. They clearly want
I
conflict.
feel like I'm better.
But why?
We
With
should
the
go now.
blindfold
In
on.
a moment. I have business with the princess. Come with me, Alex.
Where are you going?
It will take but a minute. Keep watch for wolves, Shepherd.
Where are we going, lady? Maggie?
Over here, Alex.
What is it?
Now that part of you has entered the Fae realm, you will be able to draw from it.
I've entered the Fae realm.
Of course you have.
I can do
Some
magic?
small part of you anyway. Now, no more questions. We must do this while it's fresh in your mind. I want you to draw your weapon.
Okay.
Recall those voices you heard.
Yes. I hear them.
Concentrate on your weapon and gently ask them to grant you flame.
Press spacebar to trigger spell.
Flame.
Yes, marvelous. You feel it's warm?
I do.
I think more wolves are coming. We should... Alex!
Over time, with more encounters with the Fae, your powers will grow, Alex.
This is not natural.
It's necessary, considering what we'll have to face.
Flaming weapon spell will increase the likelihood of a critical hit. You will need to learn how to build up magic energy before triggering this spell in combat.
I'll be close by if you plan to follow up on any more leads.
We'll let you know. Monks are certainly loose with stories.
Where to, Alex?
Hold on, let me drink my water. Oh, I put my water close to the edge. Matt, or wall?
The monk gathering. Should we walk through again?
Press spacebar.
Yes.
Use down and up arrow.
Ah, there's a fellow sober face. You're not in the mood either.
Why aren't the monks concerned with the Odedan here in the mountains?
What interest would Odedan have in a library? That's all the monks here have. It's riches from the mines and clan forges the Odedan are after. I'm on my way to a monastery in Old Sevlin, just an hour from here. The reliquary contains gold and silver, and they're looking for escorts south with the collection. The monks trust me, but I'm still looking for a few more swords. They pay well, in silver.
I don't know, Alex.
Perhaps the monks will have information about the Horde, and a route through the pass.
Press spacebar.
We can join you.
Excellent. Come, the others are waiting.
I'm enjoying this game a lot more than I thought I would. It's fun. It has a pretty good story.
So it's just six
with
of
it.
us. Will that be enough?
The clansmen are brutal fighters, but they're cautious. They only take on fights they think they can win without losses. Would be tough for a raiding party to take on 6 armed fighters without casualties.
How much further to the monastery?
Old Sevlin is set on the plateau, just ahead. I see the sisters waiting for us. The boys will load up the cart.
Hayden, it's good to see you.
Likewise, sister. This is Sister Adamari. She'll
Hi,
be coming with
sister.
us.
Hello.
Have you seen much of the Horde from here?
We have, and they passed us by. Perhaps they didn't know what our monastery holds. What it held, anyway. Word has it they're preoccupied with plundering mining towns. But we can't take the chance they won't be back.
I'm more worried that clan raiders might be watching us. We need to get the cart moving. Hurry it up, boys.
Do you think the clans can resist the Odedan?
They have defensible villages. They joined forces. They could probably hold off the entire army.
But they won't work together. I've been told the Odedan will have control of the entire region before winter's end. They've already plundered smaller clans and built quite a war chest. I think they're going to use it to buy off the larger clans.
I heard the Mara may even join the Horde.
Heaven help us then.
Hold up.
Raiders. 10 at least on the path ahead.
It's the Mara.
Hold your ground. The path is too narrow for them to flank us.
Here they come, Alex.
You scared, lass? You a wee thing?
Quick, this one.
You've proven yourself, lass. Now yield.
No.
Do your thing on it.
No.
That's all of them. Sister. Here, let me help you. Let's get her onto the cart. So what was that about? The blind don't fight like that.
She's a seer. Never actually met one in the flesh.
A seer?
A conduit to the Fae. Not many believe in such things, but my grandmother knew one. Saw what they could do. Knew the purpose they served.
What purpose was that?
Protectors of the realm, of course. I can die, now that I've met a seer.
None of that talk now, sister. Let's get a move on, lads.
Oh.
Come on.
We need to get to safer ground.
That's why our uncle called us.
The camp should be safe for the night. We're well clear of the clans now. You're welcome to leave with your reward anytime you like.
We should return to Crow now.
How is the sister?
I believe she'll live. Mountain folk are hearty stock, even the monks.
Where will you be headed after this?
South. Travel in any other direction is too dangerous now. You can join us if you like.
Our business takes us east.
I hope the monk's silver eases the trip some. You certainly deserve it. Take care, protector of the realm.
You have gained 150 copper in coin and salvage.
Whoa! What are we gonna spend it on?
Where now?
Game options menu.
Holy
Use arrow
fuck, I'm
keys
blinding
to
myself
cycle
with
through
that.
menu options.
Oh. Ow. Oh. My eyes. That's where I'm gonna stop for the day.
Game gates quit resume quit game main menu. Use arrow keys to cycle to quit game.
Oh. Okay. That's a lot of fun. Let's see. What achievements do we have left? Oh. Okay, so there are 3 hidden achievements, and then I think we're on track for completing all side quests. I don't think I've missed any so far. Kind of hard to. Matt, you coming in with the put on a blindfold? That was a great idea. That was honestly a fucking amazing idea. I love that this game is made. It's an extremely accessible game. Literally, sadly, I think actually the only people that would not be able to access this game would be those that are hard of hearing, which sucks. However, I think among gamers, I think more gamers are harder of sight than they are hard of hearing. At least that's what it seems like when you go online and you see these gamers that have to have like special setups, or they have to use the accessibility options. Like one of the guys, I think the guy that was like largely responsible for the amazing accessibility settings that are found in Last of Us 2. Literally the only good thing I will say about that game is the accessibility settings. The graphics, fucking beautiful game. But the accessibility settings were amazing, and I think the guy that made that largely helped design the accessibility settings there was a gamer that's really hard of hearing. Like I think he is legally blind. I want to check out the clip. As you can see, I can't. I cannot. I can't read chat. I'm scared. I don't actually. Well.
We should find Maggie. She'll want to know about the camp.
All right, let's go find her.
I look good in a blindfold. God damn, look at me. As you can see, I can't. I love that line. I stole. That's from Good Mythical Morning. I stole it from. Which one is? I think that one's Link. I think Link says that one. I don't think it was Red. Red is the blonde. Link is the brown, dark black hair. Yeah, this is a good game. We raid anyone? I think. Yeah, I don't usually like raiding with one person, but I'm in a good mood tonight. We're gonna raid Mikey B. Yeah, this good. Just, I'm thinking we probably only have one more stream of this. Maybe. Because it's not that long of a game. Yeah. I think we'll be beating it tomorrow. I will, from the start of the stream, I will have my blindfold on for that. Well, my fucking tie. I used my tie as my blindfold. Anyways, please go show some love to Mikey B. If you're not already following him, throw him a fucking follow. Always love supporting Mike. So, yeah. Goodbye. Bye.